on Facebook. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Good morning, Facebook. I love you. I feel like you're a part of my family. I have Dr. Aaron Chapa here in studio. It's 8:45. We're about to switch it on to the FM because there's a lot of information that needs to be spread, and I'm going to ask for your help. Smash the share button. Let's spread some positivity and see how many people we can get hanging out with us right here on social media. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy. I got my good friend, Dr. Aaron Chapa, in studio. What's up, Dr. Chapa?
Oh, man. Was that just a jam right there? It's
Man.
like, bam! And then with just like Gardy's voice just snaps right over the line.
I can get used to that every week.
Yeah, every week. It's just going to have to be like legit, smooth transition like that. That was just a God wink, I think.
Well, yeah, that's Toby Mac. The song's called Hello Futures right here on KHEA. You can stream us from the KHEA Radio app, KHEARadio.com. Maybe you're watching on Channel 46 or on Facebook. Either way, thank you for tuning in.
Absolutely. And it doesn't matter where you're at, man. Just tune in. Know that KHEA Radio is all about spreading knowledge and positivity and just giving a good message, something that you can count on to brighten your day. Warm your spirit, so to speak, especially if you're here in Texas, because it's a little nippy outside.
Yeah. My friend told me that he forgot to turn his heater on last night, woke up this morning, it's like 50 degrees inside the house.
Yeah, that's definitely AC at its finest.
It's tough. It's like I don't want to get out of bed, but hey, it feels good in studio. I'm even extra bundled up, probably a little bit more than I need to be. But what does that mean for a lot of people's immune system and their health? Like that weather switch, it went from being, 70-something degrees. This morning, it's like in the 40s. What does that do to your body?
Yeah, so, your body should be able to handle life's changes. It should be able to handle weather changes. It should be able to handle all allergens, pollens. It should be able to handle a lot of different things that we're dealing with in our society and in the seasons of life. And we're finding, however, though, with the onslaught of candy and sugar, processed food, junk food, fake food, that people's bodies are really struggling to manage the shift in the season.
Wow.
And so I think that when weather seems to be getting you down, meaning it's knocking you for a loop, it's causing you to have some sort of symptom that you weren't genetically born with, whether it's allergies, itchy, watery eyes, whether it's drippy down the back of your throat, whether it's a tickle, or like a soreness in your throat, or your voice is, crackling and changing, and it's not because of, hormonal changes in life. It's because of the weather.
But I'm 33, and I think I'm just hitting my second puberty just now.
That's awesome.
Okay.
And that means that youth and vitality is still in your soul, brother.
Yes.
So that's good. And, I think that we underestimate that the body does enjoy when you give it resources. We need resources to build our homes, to remodel our homes, to fix up our homes, to maintenance our cars. We need resources, new oil, new filters, and we neglect or just assume that the body is going to function fine without, updating the software, so to speak. So, if you are dealing with and struggling with symptom patterns that you were not genetically born with, Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center is here to help. We've been in practice almost 15 years. We have been in League City and South Shore Harbor for that length of time down here in the southeast. And I'm telling you, man, it is awesome to watch the body respond to good food, good nutrition, good information to help you change your life. And that's what Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center is all about. So give us a shout out at, on our Facebook page, or visit us at justlivewell.com, or give us a jingle at 281-554-8600, because we got all kinds of great things coming. Like we're starting to launch our detox program, our ultimate detox experience that we do every year, and we're expecting a huge crowd and of people that want to learn and be educated. And you're in for a treat. I mean, every year it gets better. Every year people are learning and have done this before. They're learning how to integrate new ideas into their lifestyle, because if you're not detoxing in the 21st century, you're missing a huge healthcare piece of your healthcare plan going forward.
So the detox is taking place in January.
That's right. And so I know people are like, oh, no, but what about Thanksgiving? Oh, no, what about the December? We understand. Well, that's why we're putting the seed out now, so that whenever harvest time comes in January, you're ready.
Yeah.
Your heart's ready. You know where you're going to go to get served and to be taught. And we're going to be talking a little bit about some of those things throughout the remainder of the year. But right now we're going to focus in on this wellness tract. But before we did, you had talked a little bit, Gardy, about this guy in the Altogether, trusting God with all we hide from the world. Taylor Johnson's book, 9 months he pulled this thing together. You're telling me,
yeah.
And I thought just for fun, there is my kids study Latin and so they know things that I will never know. I hope to learn a Latin word here or there, but it is definitely an interesting thing. I'm really excited for my kids to have that knowledge base, and if they're listening, I love you and God bless you. And thanks, Mom, for being so diligent on the path. But I just want to demonstrate something that is out of the Latin. It's called the average American that is graduating high school, 37% will never read a book again after high school. 37%. And it's and so statistically the conversation is even worse for college graduates. And I think it's really sad. 47 to 52% of college graduates will never read a book again after college graduate. And this is all stats from a website called staticbrain.com. And obviously static brain means that if you're not moving forward, you're atrophying. If you don't use it, you
lose it.
That's right. So we don't want that. And but in Latin, there's this concept, a conversation of sensus solum, which means it's a linear line of thinking. And a linear line of thinking means I open this book and I start on the cover. I go to page 1, page 2, page 3, all the way to in this case, I don't know, page 100 and something. And 180. But I thought just for grins, I would just randomly open it, and I'm going to teach you a new Latin word today.
Okay.
Called sensus plenior. So say it with me, sensus plenior.
Sensus plenior.
All right. So sensus plenior is the random act of just letting life touch you, like finding the billboard that you're driving past right now, or whatever ad is scrolling across your feed at the moment, and paying attention to the small signs and how God is communicating, because God is not linear. He can be linear, but he is everywhere. He's omnipresent. He is in everything. He's always on the move. He's always looking for the hearts that are open to receive. Mm-hmm. And that's what sensus plenior is all about. And so I just randomly opened this to chapter 7. So this might be a blessing to somebody. And we're just going to look at, I just random page. I didn't mean to open it to an actual open page.
And you've never opened that book before. We just talked about it before.
Yeah.
Taylor Johnson's
and I
new
told
book.
you we might try to integrate this. So I just thought, because people don't realize this can be how it works. You're not alone. The hope we find in community.
Getting a little emotional there.
No, I'm not. I got something, a seed or something.
Community is important. Right now, it's 8:53. Talking to Dr. Aaron Chapa with Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center.
So the hope we find in community, and the friendship is born at the moment when one man says to another, "What? You too? I thought no one but myself." C.S. Lewis, The Four Loves. And it's interesting, and I'm just going to talk to this for a second. This now sparks a series of synaptic activity in my brain. Mm-hmm. One of my friends, Jennifer Withy, who's a clinician in my office, says it's all about the community. When she's built homeschool communities, she's built young, starting church schools. She said it's always in the community. The hope is in the community. And I'm like, wow, Jennifer Withy, that's pretty impressive that you just, educated me yet again. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. Because, guys, it is all about the community. If you don't have an infrastructure, if you don't have a church home that is teaching you good, solid biblical truths, if you don't have a family unit that you can depend on and that it can be vulnerable with, then you feel alone. And that is what drives a lot of people's levels of depression, which is a form of sickness, by the way. And Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center is all about helping you find the areas of glitch in your thinking, in your emotional state, or in your physical body. And then this second part, friendship, is born at the moment when one man says to another, "What? You too? I thought no one but myself." C.S. Lewis. Well, C.S. Lewis and J.R. Tolkien were like best buds. Did you know that?
I didn't know.
And so if my memory serves correct, C.S. Lewis, was I think he led J.R. Tolkien to Christ, or it was vice versa, but it was their friendship. It was their community. It was their root system that allowed their ability to expand on the ways of the world and the challenges. And guess what happened? A man was saved. A man came to Christ, and they're both best friends, great best-selling authors, and just through senseless linear thinking, we got some good nuggets out of this book. So thank you, Taylor Johnson.
Taylor Johnson. Shout out to Taylor. He was in studio last week talking about his brand new book. It just came out last month in the Altogether. If you're looking for a copy, you can go to taylorjohnson.com and give him a follow on Facebook. He's actually a comedian. He's a comedian from the Dallas area, and he has some very serious topics that he touches on in this book. If you're looking to get a copy in the Altogether, check him out.
So anyway, guys, I'm really a firm believer that the body needs resources. And so last week we kind of started touching on these topics, but I just realized, there's so much to the health and wellness game. Is it flu we're going to talk about? Is it strep throat? Is it staph? Is it an earache? And so what are you dealing with? So if you do have some challenges and things you want to discuss today, please, post it on the in the chat feed and ask a question. And we want and will welcome your questions. But I'm going to kind of just talk to some things that I believe should be in your what's called medical tool chest. Mm-hmm. And that medical tool chest will be something that you can depend on Friday night whenever you can't get to the office, or that you can depend on a weekend whenever you're not able to, get yourself to the office for whatever reason because you're too sick, but at least you have tools in your tool bag. And last week we spoke to some of the herbs, INF Fighter. We talked to antioxidant formula, which were a combination of echinacea, chaparral, golden seal, reishi mushroom, things of that nature. And, I don't know that if you know this or not, Gardy. I'm sure you do because you've read the Bible, right?
I have.
And or at least read through parts of the Bible. Did you know that, God talks about the power of herbs in the Bible?
Where at?
Genesis, I believe, 1:29 through 31. It says, "And God said, See, I have given you every herb that yields seed which is on the face of the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it shall be for food." Also, and I think that, food is medicine. And you guys have heard me say time and time again that all life starts and stops at the cellular level. And nutrition, food, is the fundamental backbone that allows your body's cells to move forward in a health track or to spiral out of control into what we call symptom land or disease states.
Mm-hmm. Right now, I'm trying to get my nutrition in control. I didn't go off the wagon, but you know how it is. It's always one thing to the next. And you were talking earlier about the detox starting in January. So at the Iron Den where I work out, they're doing something kind of crazy. They're calling it the Santa Shredder, and so they want people to do a 6-week challenge from now till December 22nd. Yesterday was the first day. And it's all about food. And so I'm on this strict meal plan. I told my wife, and she's like, "You're doing what?" Going through Thanksgiving, I was like, why not? At least I'm trying to do something. But I'm really interested to see how it goes.
Yeah, and here's the thing, is you're going to get more out of every routine that you start as opposed to the routines that you put off. And so one of my mentors says you'll get more bang for your buck if you start a workout every day than if you just say, "Oh, I'll do that later," or "I'll put that off till tomorrow," because unfortunately tomorrow just never comes. Mm-hmm. And so get started right where you're at. Be proactive. The big rocks first, so says Stephen Covey. If you're not putting the big rocks in first, you're missing your best opportunities to take care of you. And I'm telling you, there is distraction, especially with the holidays coming around. There's distraction trying to hit a deadline for the end of the year. There's distraction, and typically what you're distracted from is taking care of yourself, taking care of your loved ones. And so today we're going to choose differently. We're going to choose better. So Santa Shredder, man, I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, what I did is I just took a picture of JJ Jeffrey, which good morning to you, sir. I just saw him tune in. I said, "I want to look like this man. Can you make me look like him?" And they said, I don't know, we can't work miracles, Gardy, but we can try.
That's right. That's funny.
That's the plan.
So anyway, well, let's get started. So like if you are dealing with, the weather, if it is affecting you in some way, as you know, the flu season began on November 1st, and it's because of the paralyzed effect of your immune system that transpired when you consumed too much candy.
I have a ton of candy around my house from the October 31st.
Yeah. Well, we had a ton of candy, and then I came home Sunday afternoon, and I was telling my wife, hey, we need to get rid of that. And she goes, what candy? And I started looking around, and she had already ahead of the game. And I said, sweetheart, you get a kiss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is awesome, because the reality is I walked out on, so was it Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning, I texted Jennifer Withy, and I said, Jennifer, I hate candy. And not for myself. I can go past it. Nothing, by the way, listen to this. Nothing below your taste buds wants or needs or desires the sugar. Only your taste buds do. And isn't it funny? Life and death is in the power of the
tongue.
And interesting that you have these little cool taste buds on the tongue, and nothing below the taste buds want or desire or need the sugar. Nothing. And so you got to get that. It's 30 seconds of pleasure, but potentially 8 hours of paralyzed effects in the body. And the reason I told her that I hated candy is because, we let our kids have some candy. I've told you guys that we are not putting our kids in a bubble. We want them to understand what the difference between a sometimes food is and an all-the-time food and a fake food. Like, we're teaching them how to navigate the land. It's like deer know when they have a bellyache what they're going to go work off of. A horse that needs a salt lick knows when he needs it, knows when he doesn't. And I think it's very fascinating. Zinc lozenges work like this. Like, we sell this zinc lozenge in the office, and when your throat is sore, it tastes sweet. But when you're fine and you don't need, it tastes bitter.
Wow.
And it's dry and chalky. And so I find it interesting because your body knows. But we are so confused in our thinking and understanding of sometimes foods, fake foods, and real food. And so we have to nourish, the body to get it away from the sugar. And I noticed, even in my little girl, 3.5 years old, she's so sweet and she laughs and she's happy. She was fussy. She was ornery. She was not herself. It's like a candy demon got in her.
Oh my goodness.
And she was not like my child.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? I hate this.
I rebuke the spirit of candy and sugar.
Yeah.
Right now.
Because it was so obvious. I had a lady come in yesterday, and with tears in her eyes, she goes, "We fell off the wagon this weekend," and it was 3 hours of a meltdown, to the point where I had to separate myself. Like, I had to walk away from my kid because I was not thinking good thoughts towards my child,
Yeah.
And I mean, can anybody smash the like button if you've ever had that feeling where you didn't completely have good thoughts?
Even myself.
I mean, if I was on Facebook right now, I would smash that like button too. But here's the deal, man. Is sugar can paralyze your immune system for up to 8 hours, and it can potentially cause your body to be more susceptible to bacteria, to viruses that are in our environment in any and all time.
Yeah.
And so what we did is you got to get rid of the source of the problem. You got to get to the root of sin, right?
The kids. It's the kids, right?
Yeah,
you got to get rid of the kids, keep the candy.
Right.
No.
Come on, Gardy. And so we started with getting rid of the stuff as much as we can. And then you're just constantly weeding it down more. And then we start supplementing heavily. We start putting in things like Congoplex. So Congoplex, we've talked about it before, and I'm just talking about it again because I really want this to be in your medicine chest. I want you to get this because this stuff is absolutely a dynamo product. It's 4 products in one. It's Cataplex AC, which is another product we use in the office. And the A and the C should give you a hint. There's vitamin A and C in there. There is Thymex in there, which is thymus tissue. It's like the template of the thymus. It's not actually like ground up completely, thymus gland.
Speaking of Congoplex, on Saturday was my son's birthday, and my dad ran to the office. He was like, "Is Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center open today?"
It is.
I said, "Give him a call. I'm pretty sure that they're open on Saturday." So he stopped in because my mom was having some gunk.
Stuff.
And he was like, "Hey, you need to get a hold of this. We don't have time. Life goes on. Like, we need to go."
Yeah, I mean, and I'm telling you, that is a wise man. He knows, and I'm telling you, this stuff, the minute you feel a tickle, the minute you feel a weird sensation in your head, you wake up and you go, something's not right in my
Yeah.
body's health today. You take 15 Congoplex as an adult of the adult version and children's Congoplex as the children's version is a chewable. And I'm telling you, the ingredients in here are amazing for upregulating, turning on, supporting your immune system to ward off the attack of the bacterium, the junk that we get exposed to. So again, Cataplex AC, Thymex, ribonucleic acid, which is brain development. It helps the nervous system and the immune system communicate very rapidly and effectively, because people don't realize this. The bacteria and the viruses replicate by the second, by the millisecond. They literally are turning over faster than cats and dogs. I mean, it's when you read about it, you're like, this is like a horror movie. This is like Gremlins. You know what I mean? This is like, This isn't normal. How do they do that? And then you're thinking, well, I hope my body's effective and strategic and wise enough to replicate as fast, if not faster. And that's why fevers come on, by the way, guys. And if you are somebody that is concerned with fevers, fevers can be a multitude of problems. If they're little kids, it could be teething. It could be growing pains. It could be that their bones are elongating and they're having a growth spurt. Their foot's elongating, having a growth spurt. It could be that they're coming down with something because maybe the weather shifted and they had, a vulnerable system. But that fever between 101 and 103 is what we call prime time for killing. That's whenever your immune system upregulates 165 times faster than it normally operates. That is a big, big boost in nitrous, by the way. That is huge for your system, and we can't comprehend that at what that really looks like in the form of speed, but it's 165 times the speed it normally operates at in order to attack, strategically restructure a plan to fight off, ward off the junk and the bugs that we're exposed to. That's the power of a fever.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we have some questions coming in. Right now, it's 9:07. This is KHEAradio.com, 99.5 FM. If you are watching on Facebook, make sure that you go like Living Well Clinical Nutrition's Facebook page for more information just like this, and like KHEA Radio as well. Another big favor that you can help us out with is smash the share button if you're watching on social media. Let's spread some good news and some positivity this morning. So here's a question for Congoplex. This is actually from my wife, who is pregnant. By the way, our baby boy's coming in March. So she said, can you take that along with Tylenol Cold or something like that? Can you take Congoplex in conjunction with something like Tylenol Cold? And keep in mind that she is pregnant.
Yeah, absolutely. So Congoplex is food. So the good news is more than 85% of the products that we use in our office are all food-based. And she can have 85% of any product in my office pregnant at whatever stage she is. And so she can take it even if she's on a medication, even if she was on 10 medications. And no matter what, we want to give her an alternative to drugs and surgery. And so I can absolute trust, because watch what also happens. We didn't talk about the fourth ingredient in this wonderful product, Congoplex. Is calcium lactate. And what calcium lactate is it's one chemical reaction away from usability, which means that the immune system is your body's bulk mineral base is calcium and magnesium. And so with calcium in this product, it gives us resources at raw root material. And again, this is not a treatment for bacterial infections. What this is a treatment to feed the immune system. This gives the immune system the wherewithal, the resources, the abilities, the downloaded blueprints to upregulate itself in order to formulate its own plan of attack on whatever you're dealing with. So totally safe, totally should be great for kids, for adults, for the elderly, for anybody on medications, off medications, pregnant or not pregnant, breastfeeding or not. This will go to your baby in the womb and strengthen that baby's immune system. It will go through the breast milk to your baby and strengthen your baby's overall vitality and health outside the womb in the postnatal care department. Can't say enough great things about it. Don't know how I'd practice without it. Love this product. Visit us at justlivewell.com or come to our office, 281-554-8600. Get you some.
All right. So you can go and check out Dr. Chapa's office, which is in Leak City.
That's right.
Right off of 518. You've been there you've been practicing for 13 years, right?
I think almost, I have to go back and double check, but it might be closer to 14 now. It's either 14 and a half or so. So yeah. Long time.
All right.
So I'm pretty excited.
My wife had told me the other day, she's like, I think I want to go there and to go check out your office and your clinic. which kind of that scares me a little bit because I said, okay, you understand. He's going to lay out the protocol. He's going to lay down the law. This is, your options. This is what I recommend you do. She's really loving and caring and beautiful and awesome, but sometimes she doesn't like necessarily doing what people tell her to.
Well, see, so that's a good message right there, right?
Yeah.
And so here's the deal. My job is not to twist people's arm. What Living Well's job is to give you insight, education. The great Jim Rohn would say, make sure whatever you're taught or told, read about, study about, you come to your own conclusion. Don't come to my conclusion, but come to your own conclusion. I want you to make your own decision. It's your life. It's your health. It's your choice. And so we just give you a strategy on moving forward, and we link arms with our people. We build a tribe, a community, like we were talking about earlier, of people that understand that they're not in this alone, and we help them start moving forward. And how can they implement these things? It could be just this one product that gets you started into this game. And you see, and I have people coming in all the time, to pick up these key ingredient products that are in the medicine chest. And so please know that you're not going to be preached at. You're not going to be condemned. You're going to be lifted up. You're going to be encouraged. You're going to be fed good information so that you can make better decisions, so that you can get great big results with your health, your wellness, and hopefully even spiritual insight. Because I truly believe that the greatest vitamin I have is Jesus. And so I hope that everybody knows that, when you come across the threshold at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, your healing journey has already begun.
Yes.
So just walk across the threshold. That place has been prayed over. We've anointed it. We call in His blessing every day and His healing power to touch you, even if it's just for a warm smile or a fresh greeting. And I truly want people to feel that up and foremost. But then it's really cool whenever you get to use the word that says we can have these herbs and seeds, and we can use them for the betterment of our, health. And that's the first product that we have. Round two, unless there's another question.
No, there's not. I want to know what is the next one.
The sesame seed oil is an amazing product as well. It's just this sesame seed oil. It tastes just like Chinese food. And what that does in the body is upregulate, turn on, activate bone marrow in your tissues. So we discovered this. There's a substance inside of the molecular network called vitamin T, and basically it upregulates the bone marrow to produce more T cells and allows your immune system to be stronger, more vibrant, very quickly, as a matter of fact, because you can chew this stuff up. And a lot of people, if you don't know what you're feeling, you will miss it. And we want you to recognize, kind of playing pin the tail on the supplement, helping you recognize like what these products do in your body, that they have sometimes an immediate effect. They have a very quick effect in your body. I call it wizardry a little bit. Like I really want people to know that they can command their body to turn on, but recognize you can turn your body off too. Like we talked about earlier, if you eat too much sugar, and that too much sugar could be a can of Coke and a cookie, okay, of choice. That's enough sugar to shut off your immune system for up to 8 hours, leaving you vulnerable, leaving you in a predicament where an infection can take root in your system. A virus can get a hold of you and come back out of its little hiatus and manifest symptom patterns you're not comfortable with. And things like the Congoplex and sesame seed oil together are a really great find when you have the tickle, when you have the red sore throat, when you have a fever in conjunction. And it will turn on that immune system, allowing the body to be more astute. As if you think about it in a child, for example, their bones elongating is a form of surgery. Teething is a form of surgery, is it not? I mean, you're breaking something down and elongating it. You're breaking tissue, a teeth through a tissue of the gums, and so turning on the immune system and making it more alert, making it more astute, making it a little bit wiser, knowing the blueprints that it has in its resource database is an important thing to make sure that the transitions, the seasons of life, you are able to go through effectively.
Here's a question that has to do with sesame seed oil. This is from Tammy. She said, is it good to apply the sesame seed oil directly to the skin sometimes? Can you do that?
Absolutely. You can do that with thank you, by the way, Tammy, for such a wonderful question. We don't talk about all things all the time, but your skin is the largest organ in your body. It's huge. I mean, look at that beautiful thing in the mirror right now, in your rearview mirror, wherever you're at, and give yourself a little oh, good morning, you good
Just
looking
feel it.
thing.
Feel your hands. It's good stuff.
So yes, this is an oil. So it has the ability to nourish the skin's receptor sites as well. And if you have scars, if you have injuries, if you have C-section scars, even episiotomy scars for those that have had them and know what that is, you can use the sesame seed oil directly topically on those scars, and you can neutralize any negative effect that scars have on the body. People don't realize it, but when you have a scar, when you have a damaged tissue, that's what a scar is, it builds up energy unnecessarily, like a resistor does in electricity. And then it starts firing off bad information without, being told to. It's like a rebellious person, somebody that's not following order, and they create a level of cacophony and confusion. And so these scars need to be neutralized across the body, especially anything close to the midline, anything that crosses the midline. That means if you cut yourself in half, left and right down the center, you have your spinal cord, you have your largest acupuncture meridian there, the bladder meridian. It crosses the kidney meridian.
Is that scars you're talking about? If there's anything like in the middle?
Yeah, if anything that's across the chest, anything across the back, in the midline of the human, anatomy system, those scars can disrupt neurological energy moving from your head down to the destination for which your brain tells that information to go. And something like sesame seed oil, something like wheat germ oil, has the ability to neutralize those scars and make those actually do scar treatment. And it can make the scars go away, change in color, but even electrically change in the way they perform in the body, and they're basically subdued by the body more effectively. So great question. I can go on and on about scarring and how important it is to address scars when they do occur.
Yeah, and life happens. Life happens. So I feel like scars are kind of one of the things that's going to happen at some point in some way.
Just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Right? Just a matter of time. And so, I think that people just need the insight. They need to know that leave nothing to chance and be open to anything can cause anything. Grab hold of that.
Yeah.
That's from Alan Harper, and he was a doctor back in the 70s, and he said that anything can cause anything. So whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever skin problem, whatever illness that you're dealing with, whatever heart condition you're dealing with, whatever brain issue you've got going on, anything can cause anything. And recognize that it could be something you're eating. It could be a negative old emotional tape that you're self-critical and you're beating yourself up too much. It could be something malnourished in the body and you don't have enough minerals, you don't have enough vitamins, you don't have enough essential fatty acids just to set the foundation for good health.
Here's a question from April. Can you take Congaplex while taking lipospheric vitamin C? Also, what is the dosing for the Congaplex and the sesame seed oil for adults and children?
Yeah, so whenever you can take Congaplex with any product because it is food. You're nourishing the tissues. It doesn't matter if you're on medications. It doesn't matter if you have pre-existing conditions. It doesn't matter if you have babies in your womb or breastfeeding. It is absolutely safe. I can't really think of a time when I wouldn't be at least thinking of this as a first line of defense. Like I make a joke in the office, when in doubt, Congaplex it out. Because it works so well. I literally love this product a lot. If you can't figure that out, and you can take it with anything. So yes, you can. Doses. If you have a tickle, if you feel a little sore throat, if you feel like something's just not right in your immune system today, 5-5-5. Take 5 Congaplex 3 times a day. And people go, what? That's a lot of pills. And I'm like, yeah, but look how big of a meal you just ate. It's not a lot of pills. It's nourishment. It's resources. It's fuel for your immune system, for your cellular matrices. And that when you give resources and building blocks to the right system in the body, it gives you a great, awesome result. And that is a stronger, more robust immune system to fight off stuff that you're dealing with.
I think whenever you see something in a pill form, you don't normally think of it as food.
That's right.
And that's exactly what this is, because we're used to taking
Pill
stuff
for an
over
ill.
the counter. The doctor, prescribes something. That's not necessarily food. It's, most likely created in a lab.
That's right.
And it is created in a lab or their warehouse facility, but it's made from food.
That's right. So, like, for example, if we look at this particular product, for example, it does have some vitamin A in it, right? It does have some vitamin C in it. But at 6% of the daily RDA, you know what I mean? Which is very low. People go, there ain't nothing in this stuff. Oh, contraire, mon frere. Proprietary blend, this 635 milligrams of bovine thymus cytosol extract, which is a template of the thymus, right? Ribonucleic acid, bovine bone, carrot root, defatted wheat germ, adrenal extract, sweet potato, veal bone, and this has got what we call visceral tissue. See, the founder, Royal Lee of Standard Process, and these guys have been around for over 90 years. I think there's a testament to that. You always let time prove you right. We don't, in the clinical nutrition realm, since I studied this guy a lot, Royal Lee, who was a dentist, by the way, by trade, he got a dental degree because he was a mechanic. He actually formulated a lot of the modern day dental tools that are used are his original patents. He's got patents that are on the space station. This guy was a brilliant human. And he devised Standard Process out of necessity. As of most great movements, they come through necessity, do they not? And one of his great movements was helping his mother. His mother had a condition that couldn't be fixed. Doctors gave up on her, and he couldn't get enough food in her in a healthy way. So he went to town. He went to thinking, and he sat back and says, "All right, how can I get nutrients in her easily?" And he developed this product here called Catalin, which has 200 phytonutrients and phytochemicals in it, get this, Gardy, in the carrots alone.
Wow. 200
phytonutrients and phytochemicals in the carrot alone. Now you're thinking, I eat carrots every day. Except that, they might not be organic. They might have been processed. They might have been oxidized. They might have been chemically altered. This isn't the same. And so these guys take 6 years to develop an organic cropland satisfactory to nutritional density. And here's what's really fascinating, okay, is that when you take something like Catalin and in technology, time discovers a new vitamin, a new mineral, guess what Standard Process does? They go back in and they look for, with the new technology, with the existing product, and find if they can use the new technology to find the new the newest ingredient discovered in our modern world.
To update it.
And guess what happens? They didn't have to add a thing to it. It was already there. And Royal Lee was a vegetarian. And people go, vegetarian? You're not a vegetarian, are you, Dr. Chapa? And I said, no. And I think, he might have changed his ways over time. We all kind of shifted. I've been vegetarian for 6 to 8 months before. I've been vegan for 6 to 8 months before. I've juiced for 37 days, 34 days before. And so, we experiment as clinicians on ourselves because we are the first guinea pig. I'm never going to ask you or any of my clinicians, I encourage them never to ask a patient to do something you're not willing to do, doing, or willing to do in the near future. Because if I don't have a story, if I don't know how to get to Oz, if I don't know how to take you to the promised land, then why would you follow me? I want to be the lead learner here. I want to be leading from the front. I'm in the trenches with you. I'm taking my family forward, and I'm working to get myself and my body to go the distance to maximize this cellular structure that God has given me as a temporary earth suit, and I want to maximize it. And I want, this is one of my talents, which is just the very gift of breath and life in a body. And I want to take it and I want to maximize it. And so tools like this are powerful, but we let time prove us right. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. We let time prove us right. We don't use Royal Lee to validate Royal Lee. We use technology from third-party resources to validate good history and find value in it. And so when we look at these things, Royal Lee discovered that the mineral density, the nutritional density, is in the viscera of the organ tissues of the that, not in the sirloin that we eat with a piece of meat or the chicken breast. It's in the marrow. When you make a good bone broth, if you're into, Sally Fallon's work, and, she's got a great bone broth recipe. You take a carcass, your turkey or your rotisserie chicken that's organic, hopefully, preferably, please, and and you take as much of a gallon of water, so to speak, if you're going to make a gallon of broth, or if you're going to make a liter of broth, it doesn't matter. As much as you want to make, you plan that's what you're going to make. And you put your carcass, the skin, the bones, the cartilage. You put 3 tablespoons. You got a question, don't you?
I just want to say, when you say carcass, it doesn't sound as delicious. I want to hear it like when you take the juicy, meat. That sounds better. But when you call it a carcass, it kind of is
right. But but watch. We're making a broth, right?
Okay.
So because we've already eaten the chicken breast, we've already eaten all those delicacies, all the wonder, right?
Right.
But in the olden days, they knew how to maximize the nutrition out of the whole animal. The Indians used the fur. The Indians used the horns. The Indians used the bones. The Indians used all of the animal. Mm-hmm. The first thing they did is cut the tongue out, and they take a bite out of the tongue for victory. Does it make sense? But what was it? And we don't do that in this society. We only eat the viscera.
Right.
And in those days, they would throw the organ meats to the people, and they would throw the sirloins and stuff to the dogs. And here we are paying $20, $30 for a piece of meat that was thrown to the dogs at one point in time in history. Because we have so far removed ourselves from understanding where true nutrition comes from.
Wow.
And so I just get excited about this stuff because, who wants to eat a kidney today? I bet you everybody's going to not say anything. But what if I could give it to you in a pill and use and I fed your kidneys today and made them perform 25, 35, 45% more effective than they were before?
Amber Murphy with Butler's Courtyard, who's going to be here in studio tomorrow with the Birthday Joy program, said, "Yummy, rotting carcass. LOL, shout out to all my fellow vegetarians."
Hey, we love you, Amber. You're an amazing human.
Yes.
God bless you. And I believe you might have had a little delivery to my office today. Did that happen?
She asked. She said, "Hey, did you get the oranges that I left?"
I sure did. You didn't even know. Maybe you knew. I don't know. But I was there, and I was preoccupied, and then I walked outside and almost stumbled upon some delicious vitamin C wrapped up in an orange or citrus that you had, I guess, picked from a tree. So, hey, God bless you for that. Thank you. And let's talk about that real quick because the power of food is real. And so I'm going to tell this story. I've shared it before on another show, but I think it's important to really grasp this idea. But remind me to go there, but I want to finish this bone broth idea. This bone broth.
Is it about oranges? I'm going to write it down so we don't forget.
Yeah, oranges and citrus.
Orange.
And so, and vitamin C complex. But the bone broth of to make it is you take your bones, your cartilage, you take the fat, the skin, and you put it in a pot, and you put 3 to 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar over it, and you put the amount of water. You could a filtered clean water or a distilled water even would be sufficient in this case. And then you put carrots and onions and some garlic and some other nutritiously dense veggies into the pot, and you put it on low temp for about 8 hours, and it will smell really great. I'm telling you, you can put any spices you want to add to it, and you can then take and strain off the carcass and the bones and the skin after that 8-hour window. And then now you have a rich bone marrow broth that is flavorful to any vegetable dish that you're getting. You're getting tons of great minerals out of the animal, and that's maximizing its efficiency. Nothing goes to waste. And what the apple cider vinegar does is it pulls out the good minerals and the nutrients out of the marrow, and so that you can put it in your soup, if you will. And then you can make little ice cubes and throw a tablespoon in this, a tablespoon in that, because in ice cube trays make a good tablespoon measurement. And so we have tons of these at the house. And then you can have little soup dish, little cups of it. And then if somebody was sick and they couldn't have anything because they were so sick, they're so weak, you could use and leverage bone broth that is loaded with nutrition because you made it. You know exactly what's in it. You know that it wasn't just, labeled such, but really is something else. You knew what you did with it, and you put all that love and wonder into it to make it. And it doesn't have to take 8 hours with today's technology. Technology is amazing. Get yourself an Instapot for Christmas. Get yourself an Instapot because you can do that same recipe and do it in 90 minutes. Isn't that amazing?
That's awesome.
I mean, technology is really cool, and the Instapots of today have made pressure cooking cool again. And because I remember when I'd walk in, my mom said, "Don't touch the pressure cooker," and it's over there like making all that rattly noise, and it feels maybe it could explode at any minute. Your mom scared me to death, and so sure enough, we never ever touched it as a kid. And but
that's the way my wife said her grandma was. It's like, hey, you're not allowed to have one of those in the house, at all.
They're dangerous, right?
Yeah.
And but it is. It's like a small bomb on your stovetop.
When you say it that way, it makes me not want to use it. And we have it, and it is awesome because it's like, hey, you can cook this soup in 30 minutes.
But the Instapots of today are literally so easy to use and safe and effective. I mean, I truly, unless you're just negligent and taking a hammer to beat on it while it's full of pressure, then that's the only thing you can really do to mess it up. But anyway, let's go forward into this immune, because we're talking about how can we stimulate the depth of the immune system and why food matters. So like the vitamin C complex comes from typically where?
I'm going to guess an orange.
Oranges,
citrus,
lemons, citrus.
Yeah.
So there's an old wives' tale about a doctor who shows up at a lady's house who has a sick child with rheumatic fever. Maybe it was a scarlet fever. It doesn't matter, right? An infection. They had him on ice because his fever was blowing up past 104. He was past that point of 101 to 103, where it's prime time for killing. Now we're worried about seizures. We're worried about the body, burning up to an unhealthy level. And the body's trying. The body's doing what it needs to do to survive. That's what it does. So we can't say, cursed body. We have to say, curse the infection. Mm-hmm. We have to change our tune and not say bad body, but, what is the body battling? And then what resources can we give that body? But in those days, just like today, we try to treat diseases, we treat conditions with pharmaceuticals, with chemicals, with fake food, with processed junk, things that are caused by malnutrition. These people are starving. We got to feed the people. We got to feed the bodies and make the bodies more whole and complete. And that's what Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center does. We feed people. That's all we do, guys, is we're feeding people, and we're restoring vitamins, minerals, and essential fatty acids. We're helping people understand the hierarchy and where to get these nutrients so that the brain works better, the body works better, the immune system works better, the digestion works better. And we start to see people's conditions melt away when they stick with it long enough and follow through with the recommendations to the best of their ability. I could tell people confidently every day, all day long, and twice on Sunday, if you stick with it long enough and you follow through with the recommendations to the best of your ability, you're going to get better. Everybody does, because these are nutritional laws. Does it sometimes take a while? Yeah, it can be. Depends on how abused the body is when you bring it to me. And so this is it is work. But that's the joy of it, too, is learning that you are in control more than you realize. You can command some of these things to work for you and get things to happen very quickly. And so the doctor shows up at this old cottage, and he says, "There's nothing I can do for you, ma'am. I'm so sorry. I'll wait for you at the inn. I'll be back in the morning. It looks like your son's going to pass." And it's a really sad story. And the mom says, "Thank you. I understand. And thank you for all you do. And I'll see you in the morning." Well, as soon as the doctor leaves and the door closes, the mom rallies the troops. She calls to her 3 other sons and says, "Boys, I don't care how late it is. I don't care how long it takes. You guys go rustle up as much lemons, citrus that you can gather and bring it home." Now, remember, in those days, they had to go trotting around. It wasn't like, your neighbor next door. Mm-hmm. And this could be late at night, banging on the door. People are getting disturbed. And she goes, "I don't care. You do what you have to do to save your brother. This is important." And so the kids bring home these citrus plants, and mom starts getting to work. And what she does is she starts opening up the lemons, and she starts dripping one drop at a time, one drop at a time, one drop at a time, one drop at a time into her son with scarlet fever's mouth. And all of a sudden, that child, inside of about 3 to 4 hours, begins to change. The fever begins to come down. Remember, the kid's asleep, but you can see shifts happening in his facial complexions. And all of a sudden, by morning, the doctor shows back up expecting to find a corpse, and instead finds a boy out of the ice eating ravishly. He was starving, eating. And when the body's super sick, it doesn't eat. It goes into what we call conservation, where its only focus is the infection. So if you've been dealing with an infection for any length of time, a week or 4 days or even 2 days, and you're uncomfortable, recognize that your body appetite will return. You just got to let the body heal. Let it fight the good fight, and trust if you're putting in good fuel and you're feeding the tissues, it can respond. And the doctor says, "What happened here? This is a miracle." She goes, "It is a miracle. When you left, the Lord spoke to me and said, 'You remember what your grandma taught you about old infections that you can't get rid of?' Yes, lemons." And she goes, "I didn't understand what it was, but she said, drip lemons into the mouth until the fever breaks." And sure enough, the fever broke, the child lived, and now what's the moral of the story? What did it? What was the magic sauce? Was it the ascorbic acid that America today calls vitamin C, that we take 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 milligrams a day? No, it is not the ascorbic acid. It's the complex. The complex is what cured the boy. It was the ribonucleic acid. It was the ascorbic acid. It was the tyrosinase, which is an enzyme that helps to activate the immune properties in the citrus. It is the cofactors. It's the bioflavonoids. It's the whole complex of the food source. It's why we need to be reaching to food as our medicine. Food is our medicine, not pharma, not synthetics, not chemicals. I mean, can you get value out of that from time to time? Maybe, but you've got to be integrated. You've got to get more feeding happening, not just treating with a pill for an ill. I really strive to get you to grab that message. Yes, Gardy, these are pills. They're packaged up as such, and people have this mindset, it's a pill. I
can't take 5. Yeah, take 5 of those.
And the reality is, yes, you can. Yes, you should, and you will be thankful when you do.
In the morning, how many do you take? What all do you take in the morning?
So
typical day.
I'm glad that you asked, Gardy. I mean, you're just right here. I happen to bring my medicine tool chest, and this is what Dr. Chapa takes when he travels. This travels great on an airplane, and you can kind of flash this up, but I just quickly, I have a tackle box.
Do you get stopped? Like if you take that on the plane, are they what is this?
Not even it's interesting, right? If I had a shake powder, they're going to stop the shake powder from going through, right? They're going to run all their cross checks and references. But for some weird reason, they're cool with, all these pills. And I've never, of all the flying that I've done over the years, I've never, this will be going with me this week when I go out of town to Florida on Friday. I'm going to a conference, and this will be going with me, and one other. And it is amazing. They do not stop me for this. And here I have endocrine support. That's pituitary, that's thyroid, that's adrenal, that's testicular support. There's liver support in here, AF beta food that helps mobilize anything that's congested in my liver to be mobilized out. There's greens caps, which basically is all your algae. It's what I call exotic minerals, because we need exotic minerals. We need nutrients from all sources, because the average American today is eating the same 11 foods over and over and over again. We've got to get some other varieties in here, which then makes me jump down to cruciferous vegetables. Who doesn't? Do you know what a cruciferous vegetable is?
Mm-mm.
So cruciferous vegetable is basically your broccolis. It's your garlic. Not garlic. Your cauliflower, your Brussels sprouts. It's going to be those things that most people don't like.
That's what this is?
And that's what that is. It's in a pill. So if you don't like cruciferous vegetables, but you know that you've got a hormone problem, one of the best ways to clear estrogen buildup or hormonal buildup from your liver is cruciferous vegetables. And so if you don't like it, we can do cruciferous complete. We can do SP green food.
I do like the color, because this is like my favorite color, like this green. Have you noticed? Like my car is this color, my jacket's this color.
It's totally rad.
And this pill is this color, so maybe.
So I think it's going to resonate very well in your body.
Take them.
And Santa is going to be thankful when you
shred with this.
That's right. And so I have, I have what's called Total VRX in here, which is basically an immune builder to help deal with subclinical viral patterns that many of us are dealing with. So I'm always using this, and I look at this, guys, like software. This is my body is a hard drive. This is all software and programs that I'm running in my tissues to turn on my mitochondria, to turn on my heart tissue, to turn on my liver, to turn on my kidneys, to make my immune system work more effectively as an alliance. As an alliance. There is no immune system. It's an alliance of systems working together strategically for the greater good of the vessel. And and when you look through there, you're going to see quite a few different varieties of things. And there's almost 20 products in there.
There's a lot.
And I take handfuls of stuff all day, every day, throughout the day, and I find that my brain is sharp all day long.
I like the cheat sheet.
The cheat sheet at the top. It tells you what it is. It's just a handwritten document, piece of paper, and old school, nothing fancy, nothing technologically cool about it. It's just good old-fashioned, pencil, stick figures, and letters, calligraphy.
Yeah.
And so I take a little of a lot all day, every day to drive tissues in my body to perform better, to perform like I need it to, so that I can be alive for my patients, so I can be alive for Jesus, that I can be alive for my wife and my kiddos, and alive for all of you guys that are listening to my voice today.
Okay, I have a question, and then there's another question. Have you ever dropped this on accident and been like, oh, no, that's why I snapped it? I was like, I'm not going to be the one responsible for dropping Dr. Chapa's medicine tool chest that is needing to go to Florida with him so we can keep spreading and learning and do everything he needs to do. Have you ever dropped it where the pills just go everywhere?
Of course. I mean, you're not a true clinician if you haven't made the foul fumble.
It's not shut, or like only one side shut and it just falls.
Yeah, and it slips out, and it's like one of those slow motion when it's like falling, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And totally that has happened. And pills have gone everywhere. Glass has shattered on the ground. Some of these bottles are still in glass. But the reality is this: who cares?
Yeah.
Stuff happens, and we just keep on trucking, and we just look back and say, well, that's just chalk it up to experience and doing my best not to let that happen again. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I've had these break. I've had things in there leak that weren't supposed to leak, like pills. And I've had I've gone through probably 5 tackle boxes. I have different sizes. I play with different ideas. Yesterday I didn't have the tackle box. I used plastic baggies, called Ziploc.
Yeah.
I was in a hurry and I didn't have time to fill my casing on the weekend. And so people don't plan to fail. What do? They fail to plan.
Fail to plan. I know.
And so I, instead of being that guy, I just said, you know what? I got Ziploc bags and I got 37 seconds, and I threw a handful of pills in 2 different baggies and ran off to work. And guess what? I'd had with me and was able to take with me throughout the day, my supplement program. And it allowed me to, keep my blood sugar stable, my mind sharp. Then when I ate my lunch, took some more. And yeah, I take a lot of nutrients. There's no question.
Yeah.
But I'm going the distance. And the question is if you want to go with me,
let's go.
I'm going to teach you.
Right now it's 9:42. This is KHEAradio.com, 99.5 FM. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this out to all your friends. If you're watching on Channel 46, good morning to you. We talk with Dr. Aaron Chapa every Tuesday where we spread health information, wellness information, all kinds of great information that you need to make this your new morning routine. We do this every morning starting around 8:30. Here's a comment from Ian, who watches from the UK. He said, Dr. Chapa, you should come to the UK and talk about this. You know your stuff. And I said, I want to go too. Take me with you, doctor. We can take all of this gear and go to the UK and spread some good news.
That would be awesome. And thank you because, let's figure that out. Like, I would love to share what I've got, because you never know the power of possibilities. People perish for a lack of knowledge, and I am thankful that technology takes us across the great seas. But how much more fun would it be to be there live with you guys and to interact? I'd just be absolutely thrilled and grateful to see that come to fruition. So I'm going to put that in my wish list.
Let's go. Okay, here's another question. This one is from April. She said, can you take the algae, and I think she's talking about something in the medicine tool chest, the toolbox.
It's called the greens mix caps.
Can you take the algae one while having a shellfish allergy?
I'm going to say yes, because there is no shellfish in this.
Okay.
And so in most people that have shellfish allergies, it's strictly anything to do with shellfish. So like I even have, will freak people out, but even people that have iodine problems, and the products that we use in our office that do have iodine in it don't affect them negatively because, again, they're not synthetic. Most products today that are purchased that people are concerned about are 97% either not safe or not effective, meaning what's on the label's not in the pill. And so you've got to know your source. You got to know where the stuff's coming from. And so when we talk in our office with patients, when I'm here on the show, the only reason I really think that I can be on the show and speak like I'm speaking is because I'm living this out in my own life, in my own family's life. I have stood on the shoulders of giants that have been doing this 35 and 40 years. One of my mentors, he's got over 40,000 case files. I have another mentor that's close on his heels. I got another guy here in the Houston area that's up in the 20,000s of patient files and case files that he's worked with. Here's the deal, guys. We expect no issue with you being fed. We expect no issue. I mean, I will say that it doesn't seem to always work for everybody, unfortunately, but this is what I'll tell you. There's always a reason. It's either I didn't put enough time in it, or I didn't follow through with the recommendations to the best of my ability, or there's something else. But I always tell patients that at Living Well, we are puzzle solvers. We know that we can solve the enigma that you feel that you are. We won't leave you isolated, feeling alone like you're the only one. We're going to enroll you in the tribe, in the community of Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, and help you get well, stay well, and be well every day that you're on this planet.
It's like Chapter 7.
It's just like it. You see how that's called sensus plenior? There's those that tuned in, go back to the front. We talked about some Latin today. Gardy was wanting to expand his foreign languaging, so we decided to open up the Chapter 7 here. It says, you will not be alone. Community is everything. And sensus plenior. We got so much already out of the book. Thank you again. That is a powerful statement.
Taylor Johnson didn't even know he was going to get a shout out today.
God bless
from
him.
Dr. Aaron Chapa and Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. So if somebody has never been to your office before, Dr. Chapa, where are you located? How long have you been doing this? And what can you touch on and help people with?
Yeah, so we help patients with any and all conditions, diagnoses that they're dealing with. Not because we treat, cure, or diagnose anything ourselves. We help feed broken bodies. We help feed and restore the malnourished tissue that is under distress, that is expressing a symptom pattern that was not genetically born with. And I know that sounds like a little bit of an infomercial, but it's because I believe it. It's in the core of me. I can't help but say it over and over and over, to the point that I want you to say it over and over and over, because I want you to believe it at your cell level. I want your cells to hear it, that all life starts and stops at the cellular level. And it doesn't matter what you're dealing with. You can turn it around. Start now. When's the best time to plant an oak tree?
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
30 years ago.
But when's the next best time?
Today.
Today. Let today be your day that you start on the wellness track. Let today be the day that you start drinking more water. Let today be the day that you start making lifestyle changes that help move you from where you are to where you want to be. And it does start today. It starts with a choice. It's your life. It's your health. It's your choice. And we're going to give you better information so that you can make better choices, so that you can get great, big, better results. And Living Well, we help serve people with all kinds of stuff, whether it's allergies or whether it's skin problems, whether it's a digestive issue, whether it's a hormone problem, fertility glitches. You guys don't know, but I pray. I have a whole prayer thing for my office and my patients, and it's evolving. I'm learning still today how to pray better for my patients, and that when they start walking across that threshold, they'll be touched. Their bodies will begin to heal. But a lot of it is you've got to want it. You've got to believe it. You got to know that you can get the touch from Jesus, that He is still the great physician. He's still the great healer, and what medicine says doesn't always agree with what Jesus says.
Yeah,
and I need people to grab that. And again, I get excited because this isn't Aaron Chapa. This is not Living Well Clinical Nutrition. This is what the Bible says. It says He is the same yesterday, today, forever. He heals the sick. He can touch the lives wherever you're at. If you're depressed and broken, He's got an answer. If your body's broken and you've been told there's nothing that anybody can do for you, guess what? The Bible says something different. It's by His stripes we've been healed. And so I get excited because I want people to recognize that they can be hopeful again. They can reach for information and be lifted up and be encouraged along their health journey. And it is a journey. It's who you become in the process. And so when people come into our office, we are in League City, Texas. We come visit us at phone number at 281-554-8600, or visit our website at justlivewell.com. We've been in the practice between 13 and 15 years. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, I never let my schooling get in the way of my education. I'm always being educated. Guys, I'm still learning. I will still tell you I don't got a clue. And I appreciate that, Ian, for telling me that, that I know my stuff. Glory be to God. I hope that you believe that. I want to believe that. And I hope that one day I will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm everything that I want to be to you guys. Like I'm not messing around over here. And I recognize that there are people out there that have tried everything, done everything, and it didn't work. I don't want to be a statistic for you that doesn't work. I want to be a statistic for you that lights you up and gives you the ability to say, okay, I'm ready to play. I'm going to do it different. I'm going to go for it this time. And I know it might be hard. I know it might be disciplined, but diligently, I'm going to go after this and get my health back in order.
Someone from your office commented on our Facebook feed. If you're listening on 99.5 FM, you can actually follow us on Facebook and see some video as well. If you search KHEA Radio on Facebook, hit the thumbs up, give us a like and a follow. He said, check out our new patient paperwork at justlivewell.com. So if you go there, you'll be able to fill out a questionnaire, get a head start. And anytime you go to an office, any office, a clinic, a doctor's office, they're going to have a ton of paperwork, and that's my least favorite part, but they never offer that online. And so for you, it's like, hey, you can fill this out. When you get there, you got a head start.
Yep.
Because you need to know the background. You got to know, how did we get to where we are today?
That's right.
And I feel like you aren't going to get the full story. Whenever I go, I'm like, I either forget or I'm like, I don't want to say everything.
Yeah,
like,
right.
They're going to judge me, but they need to know, and it's important not to hold anything back.
And people put stuff on paper that they don't tell you, and people tell you things they didn't put on paper. And so we do a very thorough history in the office, as well as the paperwork being a very good start baseline. And it helps you kind of assess where you're at. And, if you can name a thing, Aristotle said, you can control a thing. And so I believe that we just got to get people to start recognizing that their body isn't just malfunctioning for the heck of it.
Yeah.
There's something driving it. If you wake up with a tickle in your throat this morning, ask yourself questions. How'd you sleep last night? What'd you eat last night? Did you have a bowel movement yesterday? And I'm still shocked that people answer these questions inappropriately, meaning wrong, meaning that's what caused their problem. Is it that simple, Dr. Chapa? Yeah, I'm telling you, it's that simple a lot of times. And the body wants to heal. You just got to give it the environment and the resources to do it, and never ever, think that you're so lost that you can't turn the corner, because
too far gone. Yeah, you're
right.
not.
I'm going to tell you, we always try. We'll never turn you away. We'll always work at it and keep at it to the best of our ability.
What are you doing for the rest of the day? You're going back and you have to with your practice, right?
Yeah. So today's not always a patient day for me. There's a lot of preparation for the seminar coming up on Thursday. We have a seminar this Thursday night, I believe. I believe that's at 6:30, and it's on the immune system that we're going to be discussing this week. And so we encourage you to come and get enrolled in our tribe. We want you to be a part of it. It starts at 6:30, and Jennifer and I love, teaching. We love presenting. We love giving you guys as much information as possible. We got some cool stuff that we're going to be, rolling out for those that come and are a part of our practice. We're going to be giving them a promotional bonus coming, to the seminar and being live. We do try to put it on Facebook. Hopefully in time we'll get it, as a cool setup as we got here. And it'll be, a little bit better quality than it's been. But, we're evolving. We're getting better.
What's the topic for this Thursday?
It's immune health.
Immune.
Yeah. And we stayed with that topic because people are going to be seeing effects of the weather. They're going to be seeing effects of the holiday foods. And we want people to do kind of like what you're talking about is, shredding out the junk of your life, even though it's all around us. You can modulate how much consumptive junk you're putting in your body just being a little bit more intentional with your day-to-day. Start your day right. Drink water first thing this morning, 1 liter per 50 pounds of body weight. Start with a good protein fat breakfast. And then if you're out of ideas, that's where we can help and where we come in and really shine and give you insight and tools and resources to know how to integrate this stuff. And it's different for everybody. Some people, their gradient's steep. They're like, I'll climb Mount Everest tomorrow and I'll make it, by golly, and they'll do whatever we ask them to do, and they get better faster. Then I got some people it takes them 9 months, and that's okay too. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter because it's your life. It's your health. It's your choice. It's your journey. and we're okay. We're patient. We're comfortable in that, those dry valleys that seem to take so long, because we know when the light bulb goes, we're gonna be running.
Yeah.
And but there is a foundation that has to be played and worked with, and that is where we shine and not giving up on people. We give people what they need.
Dr. Chapa, I need to come and see you because I need either you or there's another, not Dr. Jennifer.
Amber. Dr.
Amber, somebody, because I need to come in this week and preferably next week, and then I'm out of town, and then I want to come in again because there's some adjusting that I need done.
Let's do it. I would love that. I would absolutely love it. We do some really neat things at the office. Man, I've been like really learning still, like I was telling you earlier. I'm doing all these neurological brain exercises every day, have been for almost the last 6 to 7 months, and it has really opened my mind. It has really opened my processing speed and my attention. I mean, like, I am excited about how fast my brain is starting to process. And I didn't see it immediately. Maybe it was happening immediately. I just couldn't consciously see it. But then all of a sudden, one day, it happened. Boom. It was like a big rock dropped on me. And I was like, what is that? And the Lord says, those that diligently seek after wisdom will find it. And you diligently go after knowledge. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I just, now I'm back to, all right, don't get too cocky. Put first things first. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And so one of my challenges right now, and I'll throw it out here for anybody that might like to join me in the challenge, start today. Today's the day. Today is November what?
The
12th. There you go. And the reason I know is because I'm reading a proverb a day. And I read a proverb every day according to the day of the month. And then if it's a day that has only 30 days, I read 2, which would be 30 and 31. And I highlight, and I do this 2 ways, and I'll share this, is I downloaded a theatrical Bible, New King James Version, and I read out of a New King James because that's what corresponds to my theatrical Bible, where Jim Caviezel is Jesus's voice. God's got a cool voice, and all these different characters that you might recognize in movies and stuff are voices of biblical characters. I mean, especially like when a demon talks on in the Bible, and
Who is it?
And I can't remember the name, but I mean just their voice.
Imagine being
trippy.
asked to play that. So you're going to be the devil because your voice sounds like Satan.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Yeah,
but here's what I've found. Right, is if you go back and you start looking at the way it was in the synagogues, they would unroll the scroll and they would read to the people, and it hit me just last week. I've been doing this for literally months, like this, not quite as diligently as in all openness and fairness. Last month, the month of October was the first month that I consistently read a proverb a day for the entire month, and I've been trying to do this since I've been 19 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
So praise God, like it can be done. It can be done. It can be done.
You did it.
And so I just encourage you. Just start. Just see what happens, and then give us a report. Let us know, because and it really fires me up. And I let the audio Bible be my seer, so to speak, and speak the word to me while I'm reading the word visually. So I'm processing cranial nerve 8, activating cranial nerve 3, 4, and 6, and integrating my brain at a really powerful level in different areas of my brain. The brain, guys, wants to be awesome. It wants to be stimulated. And when you learn how to activate different sensory inputs, you learn that you can tap into parts of your brain that you thought were lost.
Can I call your office right now? Like, can I put them on the air? And I'm gonna schedule an appointment, because I promise if I don't do it now, then I'm probably going to forget. So let's see if I can get this to work.
I bet you Ashley could probably... Oh, wow. This is going to be...
They're going to hear us. They're going to hear you.
You want me to say anything?
Maybe here in a little bit. Let's see if they answer. We're calling Dr. Chapa's office, 281-554-8600. What if they don't answer? It'd be like, really?
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're like, shh. We're watching
Ashley, tell
Kickstart.
him to answer.
Hi, this is Dr. Aaron
Oh.
Chapa, and
Darn it.
I'm going to have to call back later.
All right, well.
Ashley, I need to come in. Oh, my wife said I'm coming with you. I have some stuff I need to take care of, but I need to come in. And if at all possible, come in today. I know that like you're scheduled out because there are a lot of people that you've been helping all over the area for years. So I need to squeeze in there somewhere.
We have clinicians that can get you in. We also, once you're in the office, it's a little bit easier to be on my schedule. But we want to be an integrative clinic where you can trust and rest assured that, if you're seeing myself or Dr. Amber or Jennifer Withy, you're going to be taken care of. You're going to love, the care that you get at Living Well, because we believe in the philosophy. All life starts and stops at cellular level, and nutrition is the fundamental backbone. We know that an adjustment goes a long way. I love the style of work that we do in turning on the brain, turning on the tissues, and making the body perform and work like God designed it to. So just know, guys, you can change your path today, and I hope today was a fun-filled, informative day. We didn't, again, hit all the products that I wanted to cover, but here's the thing. As I just have so much to teach and so much to share, but here's what I really have to give you that you're not going to, it's not just a pill for an ill. I'm feeding you, but I have to also feed you a philosophy. I have to change your paradigm and change your thinking, and I have to help you do that. And sometimes that's a slow process. Sometimes that isn't always, overnight, because you've got 30 years or 40 years or 50 years of doing it your way. And the old saying that the old dog can't be taught new tricks, it's not that it's true. It's just sometimes harder. If you've got young ones, youth, take advantage of the fact that they're young and still under your roof and that you still have power over their food intake, and recognize that by the time they're 9 years old, a lot of their meal planning is set in stone. And I'm telling you, start with the first kid, and because by the time you get to the fourth, even though my youngest still pushes the envelope because she thinks she rules the roost, and we let her believe that at times, she sees her older sister, her older brother, and her eldest sister eating and doing things with a smile. It goes back to a one-room schoolhouse. If you, mom and dad, are ragged because you're doing all the trash, you're doing the dishes, you're doing the laundry, and you are losing a little heart, enroll your babies, get them involved. Especially if they're not contributing financially to the home front, paying taxes and making voting decisions. You're the dictator in this case, and you teach them. My kids love when I teach them how to make eggs. They love when I teach them how to make Brussels sprouts. The other night, we made Brussels sprouts. This was actually a few months ago. And Kinley goes, I'm going to make my own. And guess who right behind her said, I'm going to make my own? It was my third baby, Alexi.
Did she? How old is she?
And she's 7 years old. And she cranked up the fire. She started throwing this and that in there.
Well, you have one more under that, right?
I have a 3.5-year-old.
Okay, I was thinking like the 3.5-year-old's making Brussels sprouts.
No, not yet. But here's the thing. They see it, right? Mm-hmm. And they get excited about what the olders are doing. And so if you can get your olders to start playing the game and enroll them. You don't have to be dictator. I was just playing around. But, at the end of the day, you are the boss. You, mom, dad, y'all are the parent. And let these kids know that the kids are to follow suit, and let them know, guys, we need you. We need your help. The home front needs you. And we want you to be, enrolled in taking the trash out, enrolled in changing the kitty litter, enrolled in doing a load of laundry, enrolled in making breakfast or just cleaning up breakfast. Do the dishes, put the dishes in the dishwasher, the dishes up for your mom and dad. My wife and I have got this new rule in the house that if mom cooks, we clean, or if I cook, they clean, or if Kinley cooks, she's off the cleaning docket. She don't have to, and what has happened is it pulls us together as a family. And so, I'm a family guy through and through, like above and beyond anything else. I love family. I love being a daddy. I love being a husband. I love my babies. God has gifted these creatures to me, and I want to take the best possible care of them and shepherd their hearts and teach them how to live in this crazy world. And I have always appreciated my mom giving me a gift of cooking. She taught me how to cook. She taught me how to take care of myself. And I have a funny story. Do we got a little bit more time?
Yeah.
All right,
We
so
have all the time. Actually, we can keep going
well,
because you're the only thing on the docket today.
okay. Well, we'll go just a little bit longer.
11:30.
And so I get excited, but here's what is. And this is not to slight my wife in any way, so I don't want any negativity, but this is just a salute to the power of empowering people, and that's what my wife and I's vision is to empower our children and prepare them for life, prepare them in the world, because it is a crazy, wild world out there, And my first meal that my wife cooks in the home, she cooks spaghetti and garlic bread, and so this was 14 years ago, and I said I don't eat grains, honey. You know that. Like, I'm not eating that. She goes, well, I cooked it. You're eating it. I'm like, well, honey, guess what? My mama taught me how to cook, and I'm gonna cook my own meal. And I didn't eat the meal. I cooked my own food, setting a precipice. That I can't be in a position where I say, well, so and so won't support me, so and so won't help me, so and so won't whatever. Whatever excuse-itis I come up with that prevents me from getting to my goal. I want to take care of my body, and just like you, Gardy, and what I really love about you is that you get an idea, and it doesn't matter if it's the holidays, it doesn't matter if it's Christmas, it doesn't matter, you're doing it. And I think that determination is the same determination that I see in myself, and why I was able to walk in the kitchen and cook my own grub and take care of my own personal needs. And nothing against my wife's cooking. My wife can cook a mean meal. And as a matter of fact, just to, give her a good, strong pat on the back and tell her how much I love her and thankful, she made me enchiladas the other day. Oh, It was so good. I haven't had enchiladas in ages. Dairy-free, of course, gluten-free. They were made with almond flour tortillas, and the meat, the sauce was all, organic. I think she got it from Natural Living or Irma's Nutrition Store in our area, League City or Nassau Bay. And I mean, guys, whoa, talk about like flavorful, talk about like tickle my taste buds. I was so thrilled. Felt like a real treat. And so you can really have fun when you start integrating these tools and techniques. And sometimes you just need a new idea. You just need a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
You just need something different, an insight. And that is ultimately what Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center wants to be for you. We want to be a light for you. We want to share with you. We want to give you tools so that you can change the game and help you kind of navigate a busy work schedule, or a traveling work schedule, or a hotel living work schedule. Because I truly believe that there is a way if you want it bad enough.
You got to find it.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got to dig deep.
Right now it's 10:07. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. And hanging out with Dr. Aaron Chapa. If you're watching on Channel 46, call and tell a friend, hey, next Tuesday, we need to watch Dr. Aaron Chapa on Kickstart.
Absolutely.
Right here. If you're in the Houston area and you have over-the-air television, then you can tune in to KHEA Radio every morning right on your TV. If you are on Facebook, you can watch us right there and interact as well, which I love. That may be my favorite way.
Yeah, it really is pretty amazing. And, guys, we do public lectures. We go out in the community and do teach. We teach small groups, women groups, church groups, and you get a group together that wants to hear something about wellness. We're open. We want to teach people how to live better, be better, and stay better, one bite at a time.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up today. Dr. Chapa, is there anything else you'd like to share?
Nope. Y'all have a great, great day today. I know it's brisk. I know it's cold, but, man, enjoy it. What a kind of fun experience. I think it's just going to blow right on through. It's going to be gone as fast as it came.
Crazy.
And but enjoy the brisk air. Let it, liven up your cells. Get bundled up. Get, crank up that heater and turn off that heater, as fast
whatever you want.
Whatever you need.
Yeah.
And just know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center loves you guys. You guys that are listening to my voice, that do support us, that do tune in every week, I really want to say thank you. Please do share our show. We want to get it to as many people that can use this information. I truly believe it's valuable.
This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Coming up next is Unspoken. All right, Facebook. If you are watching on Facebook, you can still share this out as people will continue to watch this. Put it in a Facebook group. Maybe even have a watch party. Whatever you're doing today, do something positive. Love you guys. Be blessed.